Welcome and blessed be to Lucy Cavendish's full moon reading. I'm making a little bit of a tradition of doing readings for you all at times that I consider very special. The last time was at the blood moon, and this time it's at this full moon, which coincides with Samhain in the southern hemisphere, Beltane in the northern hemisphere, is the very beautiful celebration of Wesak in the Buddhist calendar, and it's also a Scorpio full moon, but it falls within the sign of Taurus, so it's this really interesting combination of the very grounded and the very passionate, the material and the mysterious all coming together. So this is a time when what has been hidden can be made manifest, or what perhaps you've only dreamt of can become your reality. Full moons to me are not times of releasing. They are times of celebration, and they're times of psychic high tide. They're very full. So I would be cautious about releasing, and I would be more inclined to accept the energy, to receive it and to feel it filling you up, as though you're a beautiful chalice or cup or cauldron and you're filling up with that silver magical energy. Now, because Scorpio is a water sign, I was really inclined to work with the Oracle of the Mermaids this evening, but I changed my mind because as I contemplated it and as I went to choose the cards, the deck that kept wanting to come out and speak with you this evening was the Oracle of the Shapeshifters. And then when I thought about it, it made a lot of sense, moving from the water to the earth, and that sense of the full moon, that sense of how we shift and change, legends of werewolves, the legends of how the full moon impacts upon us and changes us are very real and have a very real impact upon us. So for this evening, I'm working with the Oracle of the Shapeshifters. So let's begin. This is a reading that will cover the next lunar cycle. We'll meet again at the next full moon and do another reading together. So first, as always, shuffle. Feel free at this point to ask a question. Whatever your question, wherever you are, this reading will have answers for you. Connect. Split the deck into 3 and return it to 1. And then lay out the cards. Okay. Let's talk about the past first of all. This is the card that guides the past regarding the question you asked. This is about what a trustworthy person you are, how important it's always been to you to be perceived as trustworthy. And in fact, you have gathered to you many gentle beings. For many of you, this card will have extra significance if you are an animal lover. You've always managed to draw towards you the little ones, and the ones that have been the most shy will come to you. So you've had the capacity to be able to draw to you people who are quite vulnerable, as well as animals and other beings that are quite vulnerable. When this card comes, it shows that you've been able to really work at keeping your word, being in integrity, and being a protector. No matter what your gender is, no matter how old you are, you have been a little like Snow White, who's wandered through the forest, and other little ones have been drawn to you because you have that energy within you. And it might seem quite far away at the moment. There might seem to be, at this point in time, a little more cynicism. It might also feel that some of those vulnerable people who sheltered and have given so much to have not returned the favours. Let that go for now and know that the gifts that you've earned are those of being able to continue to inspire trust and confidence. But it might be time for you to begin to show that kind of love and protection to yourself and to your very close family. In the present, we have the phoenix of the waning moon, which is interesting because of course we have a full moon. But this means that something that you're holding on to quite tightly is going to end. Now, this is very, very important for you to understand that although this ending is difficult, it will be reignited at a later stage. And at the full moon, because all of our emotions are so heightened, you could well be in quite a deal of mourning and a little bit of pain at this time. Know that it's natural for friendships and for relationships. This is an important relationship, though. It's not as broad as just saying relationships. This is one that you really care about, and it is reaching a kind of death at this time. Now, that doesn't mean necessarily that it will never reignite, but the conditions under which it has flourished or persisted in the past must change. So you need to let go now. Letting go is a really interesting thing because quite often people think it just means cutting off or destroying or walking away or making grand announcements, and it's actually this is quite a sad thing. So I would suggest that you pay it the respect that it's due. Don't speak of the people or the person involved with any malice or any kind of lack of integrity. Honor them for what they've brought to your life. And by letting go, I mean, it's as though you're farewelling them on a journey where they can discover more of themselves, you can discover more of yourself. It is not the end, it's an end. Some kind of closure needs to be reached. So attempting to make everything continue the way it is right now, holding on really tight, forcing the issues to try and make things work is probably not the correct energy at this time. Hard for someone like me because I'm very tenacious and I like to really persist, work hard at my relationships as well as my life. But there are times when we need to let things die so that they have a chance of living later, and now is that time under this full moon. Try not to do it with the energy of rejection. Work at doing it with the energy of acceptance and knowing your own part in this process. Now, the card coming up in the latter third of this moon cycle is this one, which is so beautiful. It's the Dragonfly Mermaid, and it's a card of transition between states. It really shows that by about the time we're approaching the next full moon, maybe a week or so before it, you should receive some wonderful news. And it's about transformation. So the reason the dragonfly energy is so important is because these creatures use water, use this scorpionic, watery element to go from being one thing to another thing. It's about the birth of dragons, the birth of dragon energy in your life. And if you can let go, if you can remember that you're trustworthy and good, if you can let go without the energy of rejection and avoiding the temptations of vengefulness and spite and so forth, you will find that you will draw to you wonderful news by the time we're approaching the next full moon. And it's almost as if something that you've waited on and let go of and thought, I just can't hold on anymore, I just need to give it up to the universe. What will take place is that rebirth heading into the next full moon. You don't need to really do anything, the work's already been done. But in order for it to come through, you must let go of whatever it is you're holding on so tight to, and do that with gracefulness and gratitude for the gifts that the relationship, the situation, the place, the house, whatever it is, has brought to you. You are all profoundly mysterious beings. You have magic literally running through your veins, shooting through your fingertips at this time. And because of this Scorpionic energy and the Taurian energy, you have the ability to bring the mysterious through and wed it with that grounded, beautiful energy of Taurus that I love so much, because it's like, let's get real, let's make this real. Whereas Scorpio is really very everything that lies beneath, everything that's quite hidden, secretive. It's a way of bringing the two together. With this full moon also, please take time to take yourself out under its energy and just feel it. Just feel it. So many people are taking their crystals out, taking special items out under this energy, charging water, which is very simple and beautiful to do. But let's not forget us. Let's take us under that moon too. So my blessings of the Scorpio full moon to you all. May the darkness be enriched with the light of her silver chalice. And may you all be ever so blessed. I'll see you again very soon. Blessed be, friends, and be well.